Phew. Alright, a big bad wolf. I'm glad that Disney's pretty much canceled any further plans to remake their 1973 animated feature, Robin Hood, in live action. First they announced they're not remaking the Aristocats and Bambi after all, and now this. So this is a step in the right direction. And it's also proving the hunch me and the toon detective Sam Valentino have, that the Walt Disney Company would quit remaking any of their animated features made before 1990, and now only do live-action remakes of their animated films from the 90s onward. Again, it's pretty easy to see why they're taking this direction, because of the huge failure of their live-action remake of Snow White from last year. It's gotten the most Razzie Award nominations this year, tied with the War of the Worlds remake. I still remember when their 2022 Pinocchio live-action remake won the Razzie for Worst Remake or Sequel, and I bet it'll happen again next weekend. But the Moana live-action remake still comes out later this year, and we've still got remakes of Tangled and Hercules in the works. And I've heard they are considering doing another live-action remake of Mulan, one that's more faithful to the original animated classic.
Oh no, not again! It's bad enough to do a more serious, non-musical version without me, and now this?
Yeah, it seems that way, Mushu. As regarding remaking animated features from after 1990 onward, keep in mind the Lilo and Stitch remake was a pretty big hit, making a little over $1 billion worldwide, because of course it was better than that Snow White remake in several ways. Also, it seems Disney is now kind of aware that the gimmick or novelty of seeing such a beloved animated classic reimagined in live action is pretty much gone now, after having been doing so for roughly 10 years now. I say 10 because the live-action Cinderella for 2015 wasn't inspired as much from the 1950 anime feature. Regardless, it's good we won't be seeing a live-action remake of Robin Hood after all, even if it was meant to be a Disney Plus exclusive like Lady and the Tramp and Pinocchio's remakes were. Of course, on this channel, this Robin Hood movie is known for the popular YouTube poop Disney buys out Hanna-Barbera, poking fun at the movie's animation cutbacks, since the Walt Disney Company was going through hard times back then, similar to the hard times they have now. Yeah, this is the exact same VHS tape used in making that YouTube poop. It's also the case with their original anime features along with Pixar's not being as successful. But if Pixar's Hoppers is a big hit, I'm afraid it'll likely lead to Pixar switching to just making generic-style CGI talking animal comedies like the one DreamWorks, Illumination, and Sony typically crank out.
Welcome to my world, and this is coming from a toon whose career was partly ruined in the 2000s by such movies.
Yeah, we've heard this before, Daffy. Even if Hoppers is different from those generic movies in several ways. But I'm also kind of reminded of Disney attempting something similar when they were in a rough patch in the 2000s with that Chicken Little movie, being their first all-CGI anime feature, shamelessly trying to imitate those aforementioned generic movies, alienating so many moviegoers. Thankfully, Disney learned their lesson afterward and soon went back to the storytelling style everyone associates with Disney, even if they still use CGI animation. It's why Tangled and Frozen and Encanto and of course Zootopia were so popular. Naturally, Zootopia and its sequel remind me quite a bit of Robin Hood. And this isn't too surprising because director Brian Howard was indeed influenced by Robin Hood in that case. And while the animation in the Zootopia movies is really good, I especially like the detailing of characters' ears matching their moods. I can't imagine what a Robin Hood live-action and CGI remake would have looked like. Unlike the animals in The Lion King, Robin Hood features anthropomorphic animals, which is one reason why it's considered one of the furry movies. I'm pretty sure its home video debuted in 1984 and played a part in shaping the furry fandom that decade. As people could, during the home video boom, then people could now watch the movie on video cassette and laserdisc whenever they wanted, likely inspiring many artists and such. I'm also reminded of the aforementioned Pinocchio remake having their photorealistic CGI version of Foul Fella the Fox I actually praised for his very expressive animation compared to those visually stock CGI Lion King remake animals. Then there's Universal's Cats movie from 2019, featuring CGI cat bodies with human faces grafted onto them. Whew. Is it any wonder the Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie had an amusing take that at said film? And then they probably also consider animatronic puppets or suitmation out of the question because of costs. And I don't mean fursuits like this. It's too bad Hollywood considers practical effects more expensive than CGI, because in many cases they can achieve better and more realistic results, and prompt better performances from any actors on the set. But yeah, it looks like the Walt Disney Company has some sense knocked into them now when it comes to remaking their animated movies in live action, especially with Bob Iger soon stepping down from his position as CEO, with Josh D'Amaro taking his position this month. I'm glad about this too, old chum, with yet another one of my famous hunches turning out to be accurate. As Robin Hood would say, a pox on those live-action remakes and their classics. Ooda lolly. You got that right. But as things keep happening, you should keep watching this channel to see whatever all of us toons here do next.